Hello everyone, welcome to NeoUnrealist. If you regularly follow my channel, especially recently, you probably saw two videos I did last week about the marital history of Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. More specifically, questions about the circumstances of her family history and their journey from Kenya to the United States, and if you believe some, also to the United Kingdom. Whether or not the man that she legally married in 2009, Ahmed Elmi, if he is in fact a sibling of hers, to a lesser degree, if the marriage in question was just a sham, a paper construct, for some unknown reason. People speculate. Why they did it. I won't get involved with that. We'll just talk about what we can prove, or what we think we can, because it's clear from official records. If you watch the previous two videos, I won't go too far into it here, that she never really stopped cohabitating with her first husband, Ahmed Hirsi, for any significant length of time. In fact, he followed her when she went to college in Fargo, North Dakota. So, I mean, what's that tell you? Let alone the 2 years or so that she claims she was with Ahmed Elmi, which coincided with that, with her time in Fargo. So, if she was married to Ahmed Elmi, while she was attending the University of North Dakota State University, then why did Ahmed Hirsi move up to Fargo and live with them? But it just looks like the recent spate of attention has reignited a seeming, I'm just guessing, but it looks like a tribal dispute between different factions of the Somali diaspora up in Little Mogadishu. It's the Cedar River neighborhood of Minneapolis, St. Paul. Now, it was David Steinberg, one of the reporters who's been heavily involved in reporting on the Ilhan Omar story, who sent out a warning on Twitter yesterday that Will Sommer of the Daily Beast, as well as Mother Jones Magazine and Representative Noor, a Democrat Minnesota, I guess in Minnesota they call themselves the DFL, Minnesota House of Representatives member for District 60B, that they are working with a source who is attempting to dox the two Somali whistleblowers who initially brought the allegations about Ilhan Omar's marital irregularities forward in 2016 on a message board for Somalis living in Minnesota. So it was back in 2016 when a since-deleted message board post was placed by an account named Abdi Johnson, who, if his bio is to be believed, had the seemingly incongruous combination of someone who was for Trump in the 2016 election, but is the type of guy who would say Free Palestine in his bio as well. It's not your typical Trump voter, but I digress. It was Abdi Johnson, that account, who I believe first revealed to the world at large that Ilhan Omar did in fact have a second husband named Ahmed Elmi. Now, that part, he's completely reliable on that because it turned out to be true. A fact which Ilhan Omar had never mentioned to my knowledge, or anyone ever reported on until it was brought out on that message board post by the Abdi Johnson account. Now, it was this posting that got the Powerline blog interested in the story, and I think their first mention of it was a few days later, and that's how the information got out into the more general media landscape, where some local reporters, they began poking around. Even the Star Tribune started to look into it, but obviously they, until recently, they seemed less than enthusiastic to really dig into this, and publish stuff about it. Certainly at that time, and they seemed to accept the Omar campaign spin of nothing to see here, move on. But to be fair, I think the Tribune's characterization of it at this time is unproven. I don't think they're categorically rejecting out of hand. They're just saying it can't be proved. In any event, it was the Abdi Johnson account and another account, Duchess, who Omar's supporters on this in this new situation. They believe that the Duchess account is a female Somali. They believe that these two whistleblowers were providing information on the message board that got this whole thing started. Now, a few days ago, on July 19th, Will Sommer of the Daily Beast, he published a defensive article trying to reinforce the Ilhan Omar version of events, that this is some kind of unconscionable slur. And to even mention this puts you in the realm of conspiracy theory and fever swamp. So apparently, according to Will Sommer now, an allegation against a sitting politician, which can't conclusively be proven in Will Sommer's mind, means that any pursuit of this story, any presentation of facts or evidence, or any questioning of false narratives that are discovered, means that to even mention it is a smear originating from a fever swamp. That must be news to most of the mainstream media that's been covering the Trump-Russia hoax, who, despite not a single shred of evidence showing Trump colluded with Russia for over 2 years, has produced thousands of articles and thousands of hours of audio and video about it. Were those mere rumors from a fever swamp, now that we know conclusively there was nothing to it? He used about 2,000 words, calling the speculation about the brother a smear, but, then as is usual for these denial articles, does not really address any of the concrete evidence that might lead one to question if Ahmed Nur Saeed Elmi is in fact Ilhan Omar's brother. I mean, he cherry picks a few straw men to knock down, but Sommer is correct. I'll give him this. He is correct to say that the allegation is unproven at this point. I don't dispute him on that at all. But there is a big difference between not having irrefutable, undeniable proof, case closed, and a strong circumstantial case. An honest assessment of the evidence available suggests a high probability that the allegation is true. I mean, the possibility that it is untrue, it seems to me extremely unlikely. So with that in mind, it is the purview of a reporter not to depend on the say-so of anonymous message board post, and to do actual investigative reporting and address the facts and evidence that have come up, and not just focus on the now irrelevant message board post. He's spending effort in some scheme that's goal seems to be to participate in what a bunch of people on this rival message board openly seem to admit, that it's an effort to dox the whistleblowers. What David Steinberg, when he discovered posts on this rival Minnesota Somali message board, it's called SomaliWave, and the account that you really have to pay attention to is one Masuk, that he sent a 13-page document to several reporters the night before. This is Masuk informing the guys via a thread on that SomaliWave message board. He claims that he received, in his words, after sending out that 13-page document, a flurry of emails wanting to know the personal information about the whistleblowers, which he claims to have. He further claims that one of the reporters he contacted has reached out to the Minnesota House member, Representative Noor, who is known to be aligned with Ilhan Omar, to see what she knows about the whistleblowers. Lastly, Masuk reveals that he's been contacted by a reporter from the Minneapolis Star Tribune. And further down, he says he teased the reporters deliberately, withholding the faces and names of the two whistleblowers, claiming to have both for the Abdi Johnson and Duchess accounts. Now here's another thread titled Abdi Johnson and his site are under investigation. Masuk posts the article from the Daily Beast written by Will Sommer, and further down, he reveals that he was the one in communication with Will Sommer, informing him that he did not agree with his assessment that Abdu Johnson was, in his words, just a troll. But note the slur that Masuk used here for Abdu Johnson, calling him Abdiju. Is this who Will Sommer and the Daily Beast normally works with? I mean, why is it that the people who surround Ilhan Omar and work on her behalf all seem to have this same proclivity towards that type of language? Well, I'll leave that speculation for another day. Really, Will Sommer, I mean, this is the guy you're in league with? I mean, further down in the same thread, a username, Trap King. Okay, I'm gonna try not to make a joke here. Trap King says, exposed the Garhiji's Ogaden Mahmoud. That man caused more harm to Somalis than anyone else on the internet. He needs to answer to this accusation. Why is he always putting Somalis down? Yada, yada, yada. Garhiji's Ogaden Mahmoud. Right away, that started to go off in my head. It started to sound like, Somali clan names, tribe names. I don't know if they're clans or tribes, but whatever. Further down, Trap King. All right, I'm fighting really hard not to say something, so I'm just gonna stop. Trap King goes on to speculate that the Abdul Johnson account's owner is MJ, whatever that means, and that maybe his grandparents are MJ, and that he is MJ / Garhiji's and Agaden together. So that's really cemented in my mind that what we're looking at here is Somali tribal or clan names. And this whole thing, when you read through all these threads, it seems to me to be rival Somali clans or tribes who populate rival message boards vying for political power over Little Mogadishu. Now, in another post, the Masuk account shows a response from William Sommer to Masuk saying the following to him. Thank you. I actually made an account yesterday and was going to post asking for more info, but I couldn't figure out how to get posting privileges. Appreciate it. So it looks like William Sommer signed up to the other message board where Abdul Johnson and Duchess post, and he was unable to make any posts on it. I mean, it looks like from reading the threads, what appears to have happened is that the other message board, to deter trolls and bad actors, goes through a vetting process with new accounts, watching their IP for a few weeks. It takes them a while to see if they think they can trust the new account before giving them posting privileges. So I suppose I can't begrudge Will Sommer to make the effort to go to the other message board and try and communicate with the whistleblowers to ask them for more information, but I have to stress, he seems uninterested in the plethora of information that's already out there that cannot be dismissed as rumors from a fever swamp. Now, just a few examples. If Ilhan Omar is telling the truth in her 2017 divorce filing that she never saw or had any contact with Ahmed Elmi after 2011, how is it she was photographed with Ahmed Elmi during her trip to London in 2015? Is there any doubt Ahmed Elmi himself acknowledged that this is indeed him in the photo and he does not know who the other people in the picture are? So if you remember in one of my previous videos, the reporter Prayer Sundar got into email contact with Ahmed Elmi, and he did acknowledge to her that yes, he is the person in the photos. And as I mentioned, he claimed not to know who the other people in the photos are. So Ilhan Omar took that trip to London, and she took a photo with a random stranger, I'm guessing, is going to be her defense. I mean, come on. Problem for Will Sommer is it's 2019, and the British tabloid press has tracked Ahmed Elmi down. Here he is, walking around on a beach near Nairobi, Kenya. He stayed in this little inn where the security guard told the UK Daily Mail that Ahmed came on Thursday and left on Sunday with his sister and 2 small children. He told me that they were going by train to Nairobi. I mean, that Nairobi piece is important because, one of the other alleged sisters of Ilhan Omar, she lives in Nairobi. One of my previous videos, I showed that her business website was created by Ahmed Elmi's Instagram account. Ahmed Elmi, his job happens to be digital media content creator. So, I mean, this is the sort of information that's been gathered and pieced together by David Steinberg, and you could find a summary of it at the Powerline blog. There's just a ton of it. I mean, But I'll give you the short version, and I'll just try to use stuff that you haven't heard before in the previous videos. Sarah Noor. She's Ilhan Omar's sister. This is beyond doubt. The Congresswoman publicly acknowledges Sarah Noor as her sister. And here is Sarah Noor identifying her father on Facebook, sharing his photo and obviously his name, Noor Saeed. His full name, Noor Saeed Elmi Mohammed. This man, who is Sarah Noor's father, and obviously Ilhan Omar's father as well, given that full siblings share their same mother and father, here is his Facebook account where he further identifies himself as Noor Saeed. Now, this is public. It's not hidden. It's still up. But even if it was made private or deleted, David Steinberg, he's already archived the page. So this is beyond dispute. Note the friend on Noor Saeed's Facebook page, Leila Kilmi, along with her photo. Steinberg says the account name when he first found it in 2018 was actually Leila Elmi, changing from Leila Elmi to Leila Kilmi after he published a series of articles about Ilhan Omar's past. The problem for Leila is that while she may have been able to change her screen name, the internet address for her page did not change, and it is still facebook.com/Leila.Elmi.167. This is not Fever Swamp. This is a verifiable fact, not some rando post on a Somali message board. I'm looking at it right now. Here, David Steinberg obtained the 1997 marriage certificate for the only Leila Noor Saeed Elmi listed in the entire United Kingdom. Steinberg says he retrieved this certified copy, a certified copy, not some anonymous blog post, a certified copy of the marriage certificate from a government record center in London this February. Note the date of retrieval on the lower right corner, 25th February 2019. On this publicly available record that Will Sommer can go get himself from the UK if he so wishes, one Leila Noor Saeed Elmi lists her father as one Noor Saeed Elmi. So keep up with me now. We have Ilhan Omar's sister, Sarah Noor, identifying Noor Saeed Elmi as her father, and presumably as Ilhan Omar's father, as they both acknowledge each other as sisters. We have Leila Elmi in London on Saeed Elmi as a friends list on his Facebook page, because remember, although she changed her screen name to Leila Kilmi, Cilmi, her original name is still recorded on her Facebook page. The address is still Leila Elmi. Now, on Leila Elmi's marriage certificate, she lists Noor Saeed Elmi as her father as well. And here we are on Ilhan Omar's own Instagram account, pictured there with her father and Sarah Noor's father, Noor Saeed. Who is there in Nairobi with Ilhan Omar and Noor Saeed? Why, it looks like Leila Elmi. Leila Elmi, Noor Saeed Elmi, and Ilhan Omar all together, both women with the man who they say is their father. Wow. Here's another photo of Ilhan Omar. And oh, there's Leila Elmi in the white garments. Ilhan Omar in the black. How does Ilhan Omar caption the photo? I heart my sisters. Hashtag sisterhood. Hashtag London trip. The same 2015 trip to London, where Ilhan Omar is photographed with none other than Ahmed Noor Saeed Elmi. Wow. Ilhan Omar sure does travel a lot with people named Noor Saeed Elmi, and they all seem to claim in official documents and their social media posts that their father is a man named Noor Saeed Elmi. But in case Will Sommer needs yet another official record where Ilhan Omar is tied to Leila Noor Saeed Elmi, who is Ahmed Noor Saeed Elmi's sister, remember, is this incident reported in December 2016 by NBC News and the Minnesota Star Tribune, where Ilhan Omar got into a heated dispute with a Washington, D.C. cab driver. Ilhan Omar filed a complaint with the district agency that oversees the taxi cab companies, where she says she was traveling with her sister to a legislative conference hotel near Gallaudet University 4 miles away. Steinberg got a copy of Ilhan Omar's report through a Freedom of Information Act request, and mysteriously the information about the person that Ilhan Omar was in the cab with, it was redacted in the copy released to him. Gee, I wonder why they redact that information. For what reason? Mystery solved. Because here we have the Facebook post of one Suleiman Aksu, a person in the Washington, D.C. Somali American community. Steinberg found that on December 9th, Suleiman Aksu posted that he was with Ilhan Omar soon after the incident in the cab. Quote, "On Wednesday night, I had an opportunity to have dinner with State Representative-elect Ilhan Omar and her lovely sis, Leila Elmi." Upon checking the edit history of Suleiman Aksu's post, Steinberg found that the initial post, prior to him editing it, included a link to the Leila Elmi, now Leila Kill Me since 2018, Facebook account. So we have in 2016, Ilhan Omar identifying Leila Elmi, to the Suleiman Aksu, and in a complaint to the DC agency that oversees taxi cabs, she identifies Leila Elmi as her sister. So at this point, the Will Sommers of the world are smoking crack, where he thinks government records and public documents, corroborated by nearly a decade's worth of consistent social media posts and photos, don't exist, and that the story of Ilhan Omar's second marriage rests solely on a single source on some obscure Minnesota Somali blog. Why won't Will Sommer publish an article with all the evidence gathered since 2016, the public records, the marriage certificates, the traffic tickets, the school records, the misdemeanor charges that all support the inescapable conclusion that marriage number 1 never ended, marriage 2 only existed on paper, and that Ahmed Nur Said Elmi, if he is Leila Nur Said Elmi's brother and Leila is Ilhan Omar's sister, then he must be a sibling of Ilhan Omar. Absent an actual DNA test of the two, which, by the way, that would resolve the matter decisively, but absent that, I don't know how much more proof you'd need than people all sharing the same father, listing the same man on government records as their father, or identifying them in public to others and on their social media posts as their father, to show that people are siblings. That's all for this NeoUnrealist. If you want to help the channel, like this video, drop a comment below, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and click on the notification bell and set it to all if you want to keep up with new content. Share this video on social media because you know damn well YouTube isn't going to do it. They're not going to spread it around in their suggested feed. So if you feel inclined to go further and toss your hard-earned dollars, your shekels, or your shillings into the tip jar, just follow one of the links below to either Subscribestar, PayPal, or the much-maligned Patreon if you're one of the diehards still up on there. Now, if you're still around to hear this after the third super long video in a week about this Minnesota congresswoman who's barely been around 6 months, I gotta salute you. Thanks for watching.